Jordan Gilbert, also known as Nothing. How are you today?
Good, you?
I'm not so bad, especially after I've heard a story of how you got here. So, let me get this straight, because I only just found it out. You were being driven somewhere along the way to Edmonton with a shuttle. You were talking to the driver along the way, and at the end of the day, what did the driver say?
Wow, that's amazing. Actually, it was after I was talking to the rest of my teammates. He had heard me talking, and as we were leaving, he said, "Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen." And supposedly he thought I was a woman in the back seat talking or something the whole time. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my beautiful golden hair. Either or, it happens.
And Tommy is just dying out of the shot.
Later.
Oh, tell me a story about him then.
A Tommy story? God, off the top of my head.
There are probably a lot of these.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the summary of most Tommy stories are him going out drinking after the tournament, and most recently I think I remember him not remembering anything, but in DreamHack somehow being at the hotel with us drinking by our hotel, and then later that night we're getting a call from someone to pick him up from DreamHack. So it appears even when he's drunk he can't get enough video games. So and that can be embarrassing in many aspects since we don't really know where he went and what he did at DreamHack that whole night. But
maybe video games are the official story and something totally different happened. But let's get down to the serious stuff, the Intel Extreme Masters American Championship. Do you consider your team the strong #1 favorite for the trophy?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I think we could beat COL if we play our normal game, and if we play, strong and let them know that we're not going to back away. And we know COL is a team who's very well structured in how they play, so I think if we maybe could throw a wrench into their gears, so to speak, we might be able to win this pretty confidently.
Tommy said that you will most likely be very anti-stratted by complexity. How do you think you're going to be dealing with that? Are you going to start throwing out random rounds at them, or?
With COL, yeah, we're definitely going to be throwing in like a lot of random stuff. You don't want to fall into too many patterns, so we're going to try to stay random, and that's our game plan.
So what are the main strengths of Team EG?
I think the fact that with our practice and the way we practice, everyone kind of gets on a certain page in a sense that we have to just stick to our game plan thoroughly throughout everything. And along the way, we have to learn everyone's strengths in that game plan. And I think it's pretty standard, and we just try to work along that because we obviously have our own things we still need to work on to be able to be a better team. And we feel that's probably our most consistent thing right now is to just stick to our own game plan and try to use and exploit our own strengths as much as possible individually.
And in your own opinion, you've been to several events already with Team EG international events. You've played against international teams. Tommy said that basically you have the potential to beat basically anyone on a map. What is missing for you guys to consistently beat the top teams in best of threes?
I don't know. It's like every time I think we lose those big games, when we talk about it, and we always talk about the little mistakes we made, and I think that's always what it comes down to when we lose versus like SK or something, since we've lost to them in so many close games. And I think mainly for us, we're going to have to just pick up our consistency and make note of those things. And I don't know, it comes down to all of us individually. We just need to stick to our game plan thoroughly and make sure we don't make those little mistakes and just stay consistent throughout the game, because the simplest thing I could recall versus SK is like someone not asking for a flash on like a 4v2 retake for a certain peak, which would have won us probably the game right there. And that kind of stuff just can't happen. So I think once you make the transition into making that a natural part of our game, then we'll be a lot more consistent in a top contender.
So would it be, sounds like either experience or confidence is lacking?
Maybe. I don't think it's that much experience. I think with different changes of players, we've been kind of in limbo so occasionally trying to figure out our actual strength as a unit. And even for me, I've been kind of changing my roles around from going from entry person to lurking more to, so we've been changing our strategy and trying to find out our niche, and we're working on it.
Okay, well, most likely, well, let's not deceive anyone here. Most likely you will qualify from either second or first place to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Who are you looking forward to meeting in Hanover, in Germany?
I don't know, any of the top teams that are playing. I would say SK at least. I'm not sure who else. I don't know. I always like playing all the good teams. The teams that, you know, when you win or you make it far, no one could say like they had an easy route. So I think that would be the best thing for us, just to have a nice, good competition and do well versus them.
Okay, and one last question. Before the actual interview, I wrote on Facebook that I would be interviewing EG players, and I asked the fans who they would like to see on an interview like that. They mentioned you. Why are you, one of the most popular CS players in America?
Nothing but headshots. Is that what I heard in the background? No, I mean that's one thing that I hear a lot, just because of my Counter-Strike frag highlight movie, and I don't mind getting attention from it. I think the thing that bothers me is like I don't like extra attention for no reason. Like I've always wanted my reputation to come from being a successful Counter-Strike player, so it's like I don't go and brag to other pros about that or talk to anyone about it. I just let my movie be made. But to answer your question, I think that's probably one of the original reasons, and as well as the fact that when Danny and all those players went to DirecTV League, I was kind of left in the top echelon of what was left of American scene, so I was just kind of representing them for a little while, and that's probably why.
Is CS a hobby for you, or is it more of a job and something you want to be really doing? Like in your portfolio, do you write Pro Gamer proudly?
Yeah, I think I will. I'll probably put it in there. But yeah, like you said, I think it's mostly a hobby. Always has been for me, and this is actually the first year that I've ever questioned that, thinking, is it still a hobby? And it definitely is, and that's why it's kind of unfortunate sometimes you see the scene going down in popularity and tournaments and whatnot. So I'm going to try to keep supporting as long as I can the community and keep my priorities in line to make sure I know when it's time to call it quits.
All right, and last thing I want to say to you is good luck in the tournament.
Thank you. Appreciate it.